Hey there. I'm Kryptonic. I just got done running Southbound, which was the biggest Mario Kart Wii LAN in the US ever. It was the first one in 6 years. And then we also ran Mario Kart World, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then, of course, Mario Kart Wii. Huge tournament. It had how many entrants? It had 138 entrants. We are going to be even bigger next year. This is like this tournament was a big deal in the Mario Kart community. I don't know how else to say it. And startgg is supposed to be a place for community, right? Like that's their whole thing, community through competition. Okay. So, cool. How do we best support the Mario Kart community on start.gg? First thing is the homepage here. Awesome homepage. First thing, find events is a little bit useless because start.gg, like it's search start.gg. This shows so many different games right here. This shows Rivals 2, this shows Capcom Pro Tour, this shows Rocket League, this shows a ton of other stuff. What if I'm like an idiot and I'm just like, I want to play Smash Ultimate? It shows me anything that has Smash Ultimate in the name. That is not how search should work. It's not how search works on any other platform. It should just take that you search Smash Ultimate and it should pop up a little thing that's like, do you mean the fucking game? Sorry, I shouldn't get heated. So first it should just ask, like, search for tournaments should not be, you already know a tournament. It should be you go to start.gg because somebody said, hey, if you want to play Ultimate, that's where all the Ultimate tournaments are listed. So somebody searches Ultimate and gets actual tournaments that are like real here. Like where's LMBM? LMBM should be listed when you search Ultimate. I know it's on the front page, but like in the event that for whatever reason a nearby tournament that was big was not on the front page, it should show more information than just searching for the name of the event. And then also choose your game right here. Let's say I'm a huge fan of Mario Kart Double Dash because I am. Mario Kart Double Dash. Do you notice how the list of featured events didn't change? It just now says under each one that it doesn't include Mario Kart Double Dash. It puts a strike through it. That's useless. That is so useless. And then it shows recently finished, which like sure all these are nice to know about, but like they already happened. What if I'm a casual start.gg user and I want the front page to just show me, like, what are the big events? I don't think that featured events should be set by start.gg. I think that it should be you pick what games you're interested when you make an account, and then featured events shows you, like, yo, this is about to happen, and this is a game you like, and it has a lot of people. Nearby, especially. It should show stuff that's nearby. But, regardless, now let's move on to TO specific things because I have a lot of gripes with start.gg's way of how to run a Mario Kart event on start.gg. This is annoying. So here we have a bracket. We have the Southbound 2026 Mario Kart Wii bracket. This was our biggest one. It had 71 entrants. We had to run the entire thing on spreadsheets day of because even though I spent a very long time configuring it on start.gg to work. Let's take a look at what happens when I go, I want to actually report some of these matches. Report bracket. Mario Kart Wii FFA. Alright. So here's pool 1. I know who won this. I know the placements. Casper, Varen, Ballin, all these. Cool. Awesome. Finalize placements. Let me show you what button I'm clicking. Finalize placements, top right. This happened all day. This still has not been fixed. Why is this still an issue? It does not It does not make any sense. It does not make any sense. Why? Why is this way? But sorry. I got distracted by a message I just read. So I was saying a bunch of stuff. Also, when you hit back or forward on an error page, it should take you to the page you were just on. Why does it change the URL that you're at, but it still shows you the error page? So then when you're like, oh wait, I have to refresh to get a new screen, now you're on a completely different page than the one you were just on. That's annoying to work with. Okay, so let's see, like, you know, how did I set up this bracket? Why is it set up this way for Mario Kart Wii? Where is this? All right, Mario Kart Wii FFA. I set this up as custom schedule. You want to know why I set it up as custom schedule? Because when you make something not custom schedule, like this testing page, here, this is elimination. I want you to tell me why this is stupid. Not tell me. Of course, I'm being rhetorical right now. But let's take a look. As a competitor, when you're looking for the match that you're going to play, which one is more intuitive? Oh, I see this event, Mario Kart Wii. I'm playing in that event. Qualifiers, top 48, semifinals, finals. Okay, let's look at qualifiers because we haven't played yet. Boom, it shows you a bunch of pools. And then you click on the pool. And it shows you the overview here. It actually doesn't show you this if there's no match yet. Hold on. If there's no match, it shows you this screen. This sucks. Why have this overview for the phase has not started? Why does it say this? It should automatically, or it should just take you to standings, which will show you who's actually in the pool and where they're seated, this is a beautiful screen right here. This tells you exactly what you need to know about the pool, right? Tells you the seed that somebody is. This information right here on the right doesn't make sense for Mario Kart, but I completely understand why this is here for 1v1 games. But that all makes sense. When you go here, this is not custom schedule. This is elimination rounds, which is what I got suggested 100 times to use by startgg staff or by other people in the Discord. Oh, just use elimination rounds to run your tournament. Click here. Phase hasn't started. That's because there's no entrance in this. Let me add some entrance. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just added a ton of players. Not a ton, but I added 30 players to the Mario Kart Wii FFA. So let's say I'm a competitor, because this is what you see as a competitor. Oh, I'm playing Mario Kart Wii. Click here. Bracket still says 0 entrance. Why does it say 0 entrance? Okay, that just hadn't updated yet. I'll cut you some slack. This is obtuse. Why is it set up like this? Does not make sense. I also, this thing here, this FFA, it is set up. Let me make sure I'm correct in saying this before I just say it. Cool. Pools, you can't make different pools. Entrance, doesn't really matter. Progressions, you cannot make different progressions. So you just have the one elimination pool. So, okay, where do you go to configure the settings for an elimination round? You go to the page where you make it. So once you make it, it is set in stone. If you want to redo it, you have to delete it and then set up a new one. That is annoying. But even when you have it set up like this, why does it display all of them at once? This is like this screen sucks. Why is it like this? Why? Match details. Wait, for real, why is it like this? Start match. It's fucking broken. Like, we're trying to run a tournament here. Why is it like this? It does not make sense. Let me just double check. All right. So we go to events. We go, let's create an event. I want to run a Mario Kart bracket. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe this time. Let's call it that. Custom format. 1v1, which should not be the term used there, because that's not what is happening. There's either 1v1 or teams, but those aren't the only two formats. And having the distinction be there is confusing as a TO, and terminology is important, because knowing what we are talking about is important. 1v1 is not accurate here. The accurate thing to put here is you could do 1v1 or free for all. 1v1 or free for all as like one big term, that works. Cuz it's not head to head, it's free for all. But 1v1 free for all doesn't make sense, but that's what we want here. That is like the closest thing to what we want in elimination rounds. So those are the settings that you pick to make it elimination rounds. Player cap 48. Max players per group 12. Progressions per group. I don't like that this is set here. Sometimes it changes when you have more entrants. You want to have a different number of people move on. Such as here. Highlighted in red are the people eliminated. Notice how for qualifiers we only have 4 eliminated, but for quarterfinals, semifinals, we have 6 eliminated. That is on purpose. That is the way that tournaments run. There is no current way to report that in start.gg. Literally no way to do it. Progressions per group. Let's call it 6. Games per group. This also changes from round to round, which is really annoying that we have to set it here, because it means that even if you have the same progressions per round, your tournament is just set up that way and it's nice, you have different races per round. Because qualifiers, it is a lot easier to cut out the bottom half of the bracket where you're like, okay, the second half of people who are entered in this tournament are not good at all. It only takes 4 races to decide that somebody isn't going to make it forward. But once you get to finals, you want to do 12 races. You can't do that. Nope, not possible on start.gg. Why is it not possible? Because you set the settings here and you can't make different pools like we already discussed. You cannot add another phase of elimination rounds. Just doesn't work. Cool. Boom. So even if you were running it the same for each pool, you go here, you're like, I'm going to report not enough entrance. That's fair. That's fair. I would add entrance, but I'm lazy right now. But it would show you, I believe, a very similar screen to the one that we saw for Mario Kart Wii FFA. You have to input games. That makes no sense. There's no way to report games here because there's no players. Why is this like this? It doesn't make sense. Yes, reset this bracket. Will it fix this time? Match details. No. And then seeding as well. Seeding this weird. If you're like, oh, I want to actually seed the elimination round. Hold on, I'm getting texts. Okay. This tells me nothing. This tells me nothing. You know what I have to do if I want to avoid a really stacked pool? Okay, actually, I'll make an example. So, when I went to seed the custom schedule of Mario Kart Wii, I go pools and seeding. This is how it should be. This is the correct way. MKWee FFA. Boom. This is an amazing page. This page works incredibly well for what it is. So we have this seating, and this is exactly how it should be. I don't necessarily like how it assigns the seating to a different pool, but this makes it so that I can say, okay, this person was seated here. I can move them to a different pool, and it just works. This doesn't load. I have to refresh for this to load. I understand sometimes resources are a little stretched thin with startgg. I'm willing to have the trade-off of startgg runs a little slow because that's just the way it is, and like I understand funding is weird. Why is running a Mario Kart bracket on startgg so incredibly hard, and why does no other solution exist for this? You have to run it on a spreadsheet. No, we can't do that. It doesn't, like, it is frustrating as an attendee and as a TO when there is no way to have online live correct information about when you're playing next. Especially for a 2-day event, which is what we ran. 2-day event and you don't know when you're going to play. You just have to be there the whole day until the TO calls your name. Thanks. Nice. Anyway. This video is getting a little long, so I'm going to wrap up in a second. But where even was I? What? Oh, so I'm seeding. I go here and this works, but then I can also choose to just open up the seeding tab in full, show overall seeds, and I can be like, okay, this is the seeding. What we literally did for this tournament is I got a few good players and TOs to make a full seeding layout for this many people in correct order. And then I went through and I was like, okay, this person who's seed number 1 is also entered into Mario Kart World, and that would have been a conflict. So I moved their seed down in Mario Kart World so that they play in a different pool. That works. And I did that. And then top 48, we did all custom progressions. All of this is not the default. The default had it so that it combined A and B to make G. It combined C and D to make this one. E and F to make this one. Or whatever. Didn't like that. I wanted it to combine from all. I was able to do that. That is a really nice system to have. And then semifinals, I did the same thing. I literally have, let me pause. I literally have a spreadsheet that I made to show where progressions happen. So this is placements. This means this person was in pool 1 and got first. So then when it goes from 6 pools to 4, this translates to the person who got first in pool 1 is now in pool 1 of pool 1 of quarters in first place. Second, third, fourth, whatever. Literally all of this makes sense. It works correctly, and then finals like this. It works amazing. It works incredibly well. That's not the default though, but I was able to change it to work. And then if you go, I want to seed a elimination rounds lobby, it looks like this. Why does it look like this? Literally why? It's supposed to be evenly divided so that there's 12 players in each lobby. I should be able to, like, pool seeds, overall seeds, does not change anything. All of this, it's not one pool. It is literally not one pool. Why does it display like this? Why does it display like this? This is, like I said, this is an obtuse way of doing brackets like this. Brackets like this don't run like this. This is just to say that start.gg offers it. It doesn't work. It does not work. That's why I'm frustrated. As a Mario Kart player, I should be able to go to start.gg and I should be able to say, hey, I'm a Mario Kart player. I play the newest one. I play Mario Kart World. Why is that not the first? Why is it? I search Mario Kart World here. Mario Kart World isn't the first one to show up. Okay, fine. Acceptable. And again, featured events just shows start.gg's featured events. But there's no clear way of like, how does this list work? What is a featured event? That doesn't make any sense. I'm a little bit salty that we weren't able to get like featured events page on Mario Kart players front page. If you enter Mario Kart tournaments, you should be able to see that Southbound is coming up because it's a big thing. And a lot of people were DMing me, 2 weeks out. They were like, hey, when does the event happen? Because they heard about it and they checked start.gg and it is not there. And this is people, look, again, some of this is a little bit our fault, but you have to keep in mind, like, this was pinged in Discord servers. It had the start.gg link. It should be so incredibly easy to find information on this website, but it is not. Upcoming Mario Kart World tournaments. Okay, this works. I'm a little bit less upset about this now that I see that it's just that Double Dash has nothing. Double Dash seemingly doesn't have anything coming up, so it just shows what finished. Fair. Listed like this. This is a weird order to list these things in, but I'll give leniency. It's like just kind of random order. The biggest Double Dash event here is the final one on the list. But why does featured events have nothing? And then you go find events. Even if you do advanced search any tournament, league, or hub. People going to start.gg don't already have a tournament in mind. 100% of the time, they do not already have a tournament that they're like, oh, I want to enter this one specifically. And if they do, they may not know how to spell it. RLCS 2026? What happens if somebody types in RCLS? Okay, it still shows up. Okay, my fault. But I'm like, I want to play Mario Kart. This is not near me. This one is online with 11 attendees. All of these have Mario Kart in the name, though. That's why they're showing up. You know what should show up here? The biggest event this month. Catalyst 2026. This is coming up. This is in... Not this month. This is 1 month away. It is at 6-7 attendees. Why is this not my front page if I'm looking for Mario Kart tournaments to enter? It should be. It should be. This is a huge event. I'm not even involved with this event, but I know the people who are, and they're awesome. This event, fucking community through competition. This community should be represented well. But you know what? It's not represented well. Online? This is a useless section. This is not determined by events that I have already entered. This isn't determined by games that I've shown interest in. This is just any online event is listed here. Why? Why is it like that? And I know for a fact this isn't every online event. This is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Ultimate 2XKO. Like, I've never entered a tournament for any of those games. Why are they all here? upcoming. Again, I don't enter these games. Why are they here? I'm logged in right now. The front page should be somewhat catered to me. And this goes for anybody. Anybody should be anybody who's logged in should be able to see stuff that actually interests them. That is annoying. Discover tournaments. Cool. I have to go all games, and then I'm like, Mario Kart. Let's do Mario Kart World, because that's Catalyst. This already happened. Well, no, this is a year-long... What the fuck? Seemingly this was set up incorrectly, but also, this is in Brazil. Start.gg, you know where I live. I'm not in Brazil, nor do I have much interest in a Mario Kart World Tournament in Brazil. Same with this one. Why is this here? You know how far I have to scroll to like an actually important Mario Kart tournament? Okay, Fox Nation Gaming. Shoutouts Fox Nation Gaming. This is something I should see here when I search Mario Kart World. Actually, you know what? This should be on my front page. When I go to start.gg.com, start.gg.gg, I should see Fox Nation Gaming, Catalyst, whatever else is upcoming in the game that I play. Boom, boom, boom. RecCon. Why is RecCon listed, but I haven't seen Catalyst yet? Hello? Catalyst is listed all the way down here. Why is this listed down here? Why is New England Winter Cup? I mean, this is a small tournament and low-key kind of dead, but it is what it is. This is in a week. Why wasn't this on my front page? Why isn't Catalyst on my front page? These are tournaments that matter for this community. Why is start.gg not our home for community? You know what this should okay. Featured events should be featured events for games that you play. Cool. So any game that you've ever entered an event for should also list here as like, this is upcoming, this is pretty big. And then, you know what? You can start.gg business moment. You can sell this #1 slot. You can say, Evo, give us a couple $100, maybe a couple thousand, who knows? And we will put yours on the #1 spot for however long. Because Evo is huge and everybody should know about that. If they're on start.gg, they should know about Evo. That's fair. Why am I, a Melee player and a Mario Kart player, seeing Let's Make Big Moves, an Ultimate Tournament? I don't play this game. Useless. This whole section, useless right now. Circuits and leagues, useless for me. I don't play any of these games. Online, useless. I don't play any of these games. Upcoming, also useless. I don't play any of these games. Recently finished, who gives a shit? This is useless for everybody. Even if you played one of these games listed here, which the only one of these that has a game that I play is Genesis X3. I play Melee. This should be #1 on the featured events. Everything else here is useless for me, but it could be useful to somebody. Recently finished. Who does that help? Who, like, you were just looking to fill space, it feels like. Sorry if I'm being really mean, but like, what? Your events. This is a cool tab. I like this. This shows me what's coming up. Spoiler, by the way, Melon Mario Kart upcoming. Notifications. This thing always says I got some notifications, even though I don't. Create an event, shops. Y'all don't even offer this anymore, do you? Useless. All of this doesn't, like... Why have this take up space? I mean, this video is turning into general complaints about start.gg, but, like, why do I see this? I, for real, like... I don't care about... Okay, this is for the kid. Fair. You know what? Fair. This is a charity. Everything else. Okay, wait. Up here, all games. Why was that not obvious? Melee? But again, no, because Battle of BC... Does Battle of BC have Melee right now? Oh, this event already happened. And the merch shop is still... No, it's closed. Why does this tab exist? Help and support. I've heard that it's really easy to submit a ranking, which is cool that you guys allow that to happen. And rankings are awesome. I love rankings. Let's see. Okay, down here is where I have to go to view any rankings. If I'm just looking for them, SSBM rank works. Team Air, like, cool. Spring 2018. Why is that up here? Diddy Kong Racing Wi-Fi ranking 2020. Why is that up here? What? Again, all of this is kind of sorted with no real reason. You should pick up on that. I'm a Melee player and I'm a Mario Kart player, and you should go. She wants to see Mario Kart and Melee. Like, what? Anyway, I think that's it. Why is start.gg so hard to use as a Mario Kart player? It's because none of this was designed with Mario Kart in mind. And very clearly, the site has been stretched. Okay, actually, okay, I know if you are just a casual viewer, this is not, the rest of this is not worth watching. However, if you work for start.gg, listen to what I have to say right now. I was reached out to by a person named Blorp. And I know that you know who Blorp is because Blorp is developing Perry.gg. And Perry.gg has been contacted by start.gg a few times to stop with all the, like, not copying, but low-key copying. I've talked to start.gg, or no, I've talked to Perry.gg before. Very nice people. Blorp is specifically a super nice person. Blorp said, hey, I saw your post about free-for-all tournaments on start.gg Discord. I'm the founder of Perry.gg, and we've been hard at work building a viable competitor. We don't have free-for-all support yet, but I'd love to connect sometime to get some of your ideas about how you'd like to structure FFA-based events. You know what I got when I emailed start.gg about all these issues? Not all these issues, but one of these issues? Actually, first, I brought it up in the Discord. Got a response from Brian Buckley being like, yo, use our support. Our support team will get you. Support team was like, A, we cannot import those results for you, which, yes, you can. You own the website. Make them display. But also, pretty much every complaint that I had was like, oh, so you want this with this feature. It's like, kind of, yeah, that would work, but it wouldn't work. Like, it would not do all the things that is needed for a Mario Kart tournament. It would just allow us to report. But, like, sure, yeah, that's what we need. The nice person at perry.gg, I think I can show this DM. Is it weird to show DMs with somebody? I guess I won't. But it boiled down to I listed all of these problems. And perry.gg, Blorp was like, yeah, we can make that happen in like a year. That is incredible. I was asked what I wanted to see the scores look like. You know what the scores look like for a Mario Kart event? They look like this. This is Lounge. This is where most online competitive Mario Kart happens. It doesn't run on start.gg because start.gg doesn't work. There are so many online Mario Kart tournaments. There's a Lounge, like Lounge has seasons. That could run on start.gg. But it doesn't because start.gg has never worked for this. You have never been able to do this on start.gg. Do you know what we currently do it on? We do it on a Discord bot. Somebody made a Discord bot that does all of this. And it's like, yeah, do that for all the online tournaments. That just works. But like, it would be cool if we didn't need the Discord bot. If it just worked on a website that has been established for community tournaments. This is an awesome way to display scores. You know what isn't an awesome way? When I go here and I'm like, I want to report placements, and even when custom schedule does work, it's not gonna work right now. But even when it does work, it just says, what did the person place? Doesn't ask for a score. Elimination rounds asks for a score per race, but when it comes to displaying that on the start.gg page, it doesn't it looks bad. You have to click per game, and it's like, I don't want to view that. I just want to view like bowling. Okay, bowling. Think about bowling. When you do a scorecard, this is what it looks like. It should say this for start.gg. And you know who listened? Perry.gg. So this is the end of my rant for start.gg. If you want to keep Mario Kart players as people using your service, you will do all of this stuff before Perry.gg does. Because I know that the second Perry.gg starts working, I'm using whatever format thing they have to link tournaments, and I am running that shit on Perry.gg. And then I'm going to encourage people to sign up on Perry.gg, because that is the platform that actually is like trying to help our community and do stuff for our community. Whereas start.gg has done seemingly nothing to cater to the Mario Kart community. The Mario Kart community is kind of huge. Anyway, that's the end of this. I'm sure this is a super embarrassing video for me that I'm just yelling at the computer being mad at start.gg, but I figure I should get these thoughts out and say exactly what the community needs. We need per race scores. We need custom progressions and custom race numbers per phase. We need to have individual phases, not just one big elimination round box where we don't control anything, we can't seed properly. Right now it sucks. Thank you. Bye-bye.